Let's start. As usual, we begin by looking for checks and escape squares. Square just g1 for their white's king. We have just one immediate check on f1, but the rook is protecting. And their h2 pawn looks very good for us because our knight already attacking there. So we just need to bring our queen to give checkmate. But we need to do it in one move. So queen f7, queen h5, queen h2. That's going to be too long. So that's why we have two routes for that. Queen b8 or queen d6. On queen f4 impossible because it's protected by the bishop and the queen. So queen d6 and queen d6 to h2 checkmate. Their black king has two escape squares, and we don't have any immediate checks. Their f7 square looks very desirable for our queen. However, we cannot place it there without any supports. That's why we start with bringing our king to g6, protecting f7. Now our queen goes to e6 and queen f7 checkmate. The black king has just one escape square and no windows. So h6, g6 is not played. The king cannot escape on the 7th rank. Our queen is attacking the rook, but the rook is protected by the knight. So before taking the rook, we are going to remove the knight. So we start with f5, then we take the knight, and then we all set to deliver checkmate on f8. The black king doesn't have any escape squares. This square is taken by the bishop, and the white has check on h2, h7. We cannot go queen takes h7 right away because their rook doesn't have any support. So knight f6 attacking the h7, but their knight is hanging. The black can take gf. So we start with knight g5, and now we're all set to deliver checkmate on h7. The white has two escape squares, d1 and e2, and we need a couple of checks. Knight d3 check. That won't work because the pawn is going to take. Knight c2 looks very good, so that's check. But the king can still escape. So that's why we start with preparatory move bishop g4. So now all the squares are taken by the bishop despite the pawns. So the king is completely trapped. So now just check is going to be decisive. Knight c2 checkmate. Escape squares, no escape squares for the king. All the squares controlled by the black queen. Queen f2 looks very good. But again, we need to protect the square. Additionally, bishop goes b6. Now we'll set for the checkmate on f2. There's no checkmate on g1 because the knight is protected. The white king has two escape squares, g1, g2, and h1. And we have one check on h3. That's going to be checkmate. Again, guys, we cannot give up our queen like that because there is no support. Knight f4, so now h3 is attacked by our queen and our knight, and queen h3 checkmate. Here the white king doesn't have any escape squares, completely trapped by its own pieces, and we need to give just one check. So knight on f3 would be checkmate, for instance, but we cannot do this because in this exercise we cannot place our pieces on attacked squares. So that's why we start with knight g4, and the bishop is ready to deliver checkmate on f2. Escape squares d2 and b1. and checks rook c2. We can give check on rook c2, but the king is attacking c2, and the king can take and even escape on b1. I know that it would be great if we place our queen on c2 instead of the rook, so that's why we move our queen to c7 or c6, and now we're all set. Queen c2 check.